This is One World training with training on Axelos products, in this case ITIL, or Direct, Plan and Improve. One World Training is a company based in several countries in, among others, the USA, the Netherlands, the Gulf region, South Africa, and in India. And we are proud to present to you the Axelos products on ITIL 4 DPI. We are a company, a global company that is targeted towards training in all kinds of subjects related to IT business management, project management, ISO standards, security, etc. We have been training all over the world with about 150 and more other training and more organizations. We are proud to have this training today, part of our Axelos offerings, and we hope you have a good time. Murali will introduce himself as one of our dedicated trainers to ITIL. So I give over to Murali for his training today, and wishing all attendees and Murali lots of success with today's training. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Apo, for your wonderful introduction to DPI. And let me continue with, start with myself before we move on to the real stuff about DPI. I'm a certified trainer and course advisor for various areas like ITIL, Project Management Professional, Prince2, also from Axelos, Program Management, which is MSP, also from Axelos. I also have other certifications like DevOps, and I have worked for several years in various IT roles and project management and program management roles, supported customers from various countries, while I have worked mostly in India, and I've done a small overseas assignments as well. My experience helps me to provide examples and answer queries, and I am happy to provide support even after the training is completed. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge Axelos because we have used their publications and materials in our training courseware. About the ITIL certification scheme, which you might be already aware of, but do a quick check on this. We have the ITIL Foundation in ITIL 4, first of all, and then there are two qualifications mainly, which is the Managing Professional and the Strategic Leader. To get the Managing Professional or MP, you will require 4 certifications, apart from the foundation, that is, and those are CDS, Create, Deliver, Support, DSV, Drive Stakeholder Value, HVIT, High Velocity IT. These are known as specialist certifications. There is one more, which is a strategist certification, which is Direct, Plan and Improve. And that one is common to the other qualification, which is the strategic leader, in which you need one more certification, which is the ITIL leader, also known the digital and IT strategy. And above that, we have the ITIL master. Those who are having at least 17 credits in V3 can directly write the Managing Professional Transition or the bridging exam, just like we had the bridging exams in the older versions of ITIL. And you could directly achieve the ITIL 4 Managing Professional by writing the transition exam. So 17 credits, or if you have 22, which means you are already the V3 expert, then you can go for this exam. If not, then the delegates can continue their ITIL V3 journey. But because we have everything now available from V4, it is highly recommended, ITIL 4, it is highly recommended that you directly pursue the ITIL 4 path. Of course, the choice is yours, but please keep watching the updates from Axelos on how long the V3 is going to continue. Right now, it is going to be there, but do watch out for any such updates from Axelos. Regarding the relation to the publications and syllabus, there is one publication for each ITIL 4 exam, and because there are 6 publications and there are 6 exams: Foundation, create, deliver, and support, drive stakeholder value, high velocity IT, direct plan and improve, digital and IT strategy. There are also practice publications. So there are 34 practice publications in ITIL 4. There are no separate publications for the managing professional because it is a qualification achieved by completing the foundation and 4 more certifications. And as explained before, you need the following to complete the managing professional certification. And when you do the digital and IT strategy, it allows you, and the direct plan and improve, it allows you to do the digital leader certification. Okay. The syllabus for each of these exams uses information from the publication or the manual. So in this case, the direct plan and improve certification exam will require the direct plan and improve publications to be studied. Therefore, these materials include the information from that manual or publication. And the exams also include certain practices from the 34 practices. And in this case, we have in DPI, we have 2 practices applicable. The OCM, which is the organization change management, and also the CI or the continual improvement practice. Also, not everything from every practice is included in the exam. Only some content from the practices are included in the exam. So the syllabus is very specific about which of the practices and which content from each practice and what content from the publication, the main publication like DPI, is included. Here is the view of the practice publications. In every practice, we have certain chapters, and generally the chapter number 2 will be applicable in the exam. And sometimes a little bit from the chapter 3 and chapter 4 will also applicable. The ones which are in bold font are included in the exam syllabus for only some of the practices. And the ones which are underlined also along with bold are included in the exam for all practices. Whichever practice is relevant for a particular exam. For example, for DPI, we have the continual improvement and the OCM practice, which means definitely 2.4 and 2.1 will be included in the syllabus. But 2.2, 2.3, 3.2, 4.1 may or may not be included. It depends on the which practice it is. So this is a good hint for all of you to study from the practice documents. And as you see, the other sections are not at all included in the syllabus. The exams are at Bloom's level 2 and Bloom's level 3 of testing. Level 2 is about checking the understanding of the concepts, methods, and principles. And level 3 is about applying those concepts, methods, and principles. Except in the foundation exam, where we do not have the level 3 questions, we have only level 2 questions and level 1 questions. Level 1 is just about basic recalling the concepts from memory. The nature of the exam, it's 1.5 hours for all the managing professional exams, except the foundation one, which is for 1 hour. The exam has 40 multiple choice questions and 28 required to pass the exam. These are all multiple choice questions, usually with 1 correct answer from the 4 options. Sometimes for the picking up the 1 correct answer, you may need to choose 2 options. And when we practice some of the questions today in this course, you will see some of those type of questions. Exam is always invigilated. It's a closed book. There is no negative marking and no specific case studies. However, exams like DPI, DSV, CDS, and HVIT have situational questions rather than theory questions. Some of them will be, of course, understanding and theoretical questions, but more of them will be application questions. Now let us look at who can benefit from this DPI module and certification. This is for the IT and digital managers of all levels in an organization involved in aligning work to organizational strategy or developing a continually improving team or service. We see 2 things here. Those who are working on strategic elements and those who are working on improvements, which means these people have a senior role or a management role to play in the organization, which means DPI will help anyone involved in planning, improving products, managing organizational changes, and responsible for interfacing with the governance, risk, and compliance. The GRC, meaning the overall direction for the organization, the risk and the compliance management. Therefore, this module will provide you with the skills and knowledge to ensure tactical IT teams, tactical meaning practice-based, process-based, and a bit operational-based teams, align their work effectively to meet the business objectives. Breaking down the silos by encouraging a holistic systems thinking approach to value co-creation. The modern world is about collaboration, discouraging silos or tribes, because the business has to face the consumer environment by working all the units in the business working as a single entity rather as separate departments within a single organization. Adapt tools and techniques across the operating model with minimal disruption. An example of an operating model is the service value chain. There may be other operating models as well in the business industry. So how can those work along with certain tools and techniques? For example, prioritization methods. Use the ITIL guidance principles, strong business cases, or justifications, robust planning, and effective controls. We will be learning about controls, policies, guidelines, and these will be used when developing change management programs aligned to the strategic vision. So in this module, there is also the concept of the change management, not the change enablement as a IT management process or a practice, but more the behavioral or the organizational change management required to move the organization in a new direction towards the digital transformation, for example. Create regular reporting cycles and utilize lean, agile, and DevOps ways of working to eliminate waste and encourage feedback loops. A bit of lean, agile, and DevOps are mentioned in each of the managing professional courses because these are quite important for the modern digital era. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to understand the key concepts of direct, plan, and improve, understand the scope of what is to be delivered, what is to be directed and or planned, and know how to use key principles and methods of direction and planning in that context. Meaning, it is about understanding what to direct, what to plan, and how to use certain principles and methods to direct and plan. For example, policy creation. Understand the role of governance, risk, and control, and know how to integrate the principles and methods into the service value system. You might recollect that one of the components in the service value system or SVS is governance. So we'll look more into that element. Understand and know how to use key principles and methods of continual improvement for all types of improvements. This module particularly goes deeper into the concept of continual improvement, the 7-step model. Detailing what happens exactly in each step, what are the tasks, activities for every step, and the results or outcomes of each step. A few more learning objectives in DPI. Understand and know how to use the key principles and methods of communication and organizational change management to direction, planning, and improvement. The importance of communications is emphasized, some of the communication principles, and the importance of organizational change management or interventions within the organization to move people to a different style of working. 6. Understand and know how to use the key principles and methods of measurement and reporting in direction, planning, and improvement. You can imagine that without proper measurement and reporting, management is impossible. As we know from an old phrase, what is not measured cannot be managed. So managing by objectives, which is an old traditional methodology of management, still works, but in a more modern way to be applied. Understand and know how to direct, plan, and improve value streams and practices. So we have the concept, the important concept of value streams and practices introduced in ITIL 4, and we will dig deeper into that. However, do note that in the Create, Deliver, and Support course, we do have a lot more information on specific value stream examples. For example, a value stream to create a new service and a value stream to support an existing service. Here we have a summary of all the sections or topics to be covered in the DPI course, in line with the learning objectives and in line with how DPI will benefit you. Key concepts of DPI, scope of DPI, principles and methods in DPI, role of governance, risk and compliance or GRC, principles and methods of continual improvement. We have this in 2 parts. So section 4, we have part 1, part 2 in the recordings. Organizational change management in section 5. 6 is measurement and reporting. 7, value streams and processes in 2 parts. due to the amount of information. And in 8, we cover the 2 practices, continual improvement and organizational change management.